Abuja, you see onto your Let's Talk station, 95.1 Nigeria Info FM, right here in the nation's capital. My name is Bumi Blair, and we are into the second 3 hours of the show. This is how we do it every weekend. We bring action into your doorsteps, analysis, and even interesting news. We dissect it the way no other can do. I mean, don't doubt me. We have it loaded in these last 3 hours. And, when I have the kind of guest I have in the studio, it's going to be very, very interesting. Welcome once again to the last 3 hours of The Frenzy. My name is Bumi Blair. You call me the Sports Prime Minister. And I'm the only Sports Prime Minister anywhere in the world. Google it, confirm for yourself. I will advise you, why waste your data to find out what you already know? It means you are wasting money, you are wasting resources in this very good economy, just to say that. So why waste your data to find out what you already know? By the way, you can join us live on Facebook. On Facebook, we are at Nigeria Info Abuja. You can join us on YouTube. We are live at Nigeria Info Abuja also. On Twitter, you can chat with us at Nigeria Info ABJ. And on WhatsApp, drop a voice note, drop a message. It is 080-999-30137. Okay? 080-999-30137. That's how you can get us on the WhatsApp. For the phone lines are 070-09-510-000. I take that again. 070-09-510-000. And if you can't get us on that phone line, you can also try 080-9597-4869. 080-9597-4869. And you get through to the studio. All right, for those of you who's been following us on our socials, I did promise with the flyers made by Benga that we'll have a special guest in the studio. And we're going to be talking about something that is of great importance to everyone, and it's all about the Nigeria Football Federation election. We understand the election will come up next month, as today is already the 1st of August. August is a very important month when it comes to sports, and when it comes to yours sincerely. And I'm excited that in September, we will have the Nigeria Football Federation election. So are you excited? You will know what you need to know about the election if you stay tuned to the show.
What's called initial Gara. The trophies are allowed to make in Gara at the beginning of the tournament. When push comes to shove, we'll shove them aside and the big boys will come to play.
Show them the way, show them the way. Let's start, show them the way. 1-0 to the pain, oh, yo. 1-0 to the pain, oh, ay. This is Simeon calling from King Power Stadium in Guarimpa.
Football Frenzy, where the fan is king. Is king.
Show them the way, show them the way. Show them the way, show them the way. Show them the way, show them the way. Let's start, show them the way.
All right, the frenzy is up and running. And without wasting time, well, I have a very significant guest in the studio. I have the former chairman, Gombe State Football Association, a very prominent person in this particular station for years. A man who speaks a lot when it comes to the beautiful game and sports in general. He's an encyclopedia, and he is like the watchdog, exactly what you want the media to be. He's what he is, giving you information like you want it to be. Alhaji Gara Gombe. Alhaji, good afternoon and welcome to the frenzy.
Good afternoon, the Prime Minister. I am happy to be back and to see you live and direct once again.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you in the studio, Alhaji.
And thank Nigeria Info for being the watchdog, really, not and defining the sports broadcasting in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Alhaji. I mean, our relationship with you goes back to years, over a decade relationship, which has helped to shape the face of sport in Nigeria. And we can point to a lot of things that have been done through this particular, station and all the likes of it. But today, for those of you who have seen the flyer, we'll be talking about the NFF elections, which will come up on the 27th of September. And when you look at it, not many people have come out to say they want to contest for the presidential position. But there's one man who has indicated interest. I mean, his supporters have said it time and time again that he deserves, to lead the Nigeria Football Federation once again. Haven't done so in the last 4 years. And the question is, has Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Gusau done enough to get another term? Yes, on Sunday, September 27th, that is in the next, next month, to be precise, delegates will converge in Lafia, that's Nasarawa State, to decide who leads Nigerian Football Federation for the next 4 years. Yes, incumbent president, that is Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Gusau, who was elected back in September 2022, we understand will be standing for re-election. His tenure has been marked by calls for stability, reforms, and better football administration, something which Nigeria has not achieved over the years. But as the campaign season is getting to an end, and maybe the campaign season really heating up, the question is, has Gusau done enough for him to get the vote of the delegates? Well, we are not delegates here, but we can say things, that could probably make impact when it comes to the delegate. And also, we all know that government is an interested party in all this. So maybe government could also be listening and also decide, maybe to follow Gusau or not. Well, has Gusau done enough to deserve another term? Let me quickly just ask my guest in the studio, Alhaji Gara Gombe, once again.
Yes, thank you, Bumi. This question had been asked elsewhere.
Okay.
And I try as much as possible to give my own opinion.
Okay.
And it is my own opinion.
Okay.
And an opinion expressed by someone is a right.
Mm.
And therefore, if you have a contrary opinion, you can also
hear your
express
opinion.
it. It's
Yes.
your right. Now, how do you measure performance in Nigerian football?
Mm.
Over the years, we try to experiment several times. Unfortunately, we tend to forget the major ingredients or characteristics of performance. Now, but due to our very nature as Nigerians, we only measure performance when we win matches. We only measure performance when we qualify for World Cup. And we only measure performance when our national teams are doing well.
Yes.
That is the only thing that we know. And that is understandable. Somebody can tell you, yes, football is about winning. But before you get to win, there are certain roadmap that must be in place before you get to win. Winning is a product of productivity, planning, logistics, infrastructure, funding, welfare, and so many other components. And to garnish these footsteps that I just mentioned few, I have not exhausted them.
Okay.
But the ones that I have mentioned, there are 3 key things which you use to garnish it, maybe to reinforce it or to oil it, to lubricate it for a better output. And these are accountability, transparency, and good governance. So we have to ask ourselves here whether all these things that I mentioned are existent in Nigerian football, since we are only talking about football.
Yes.
But football is just one, and football is also contagious to other areas, which is the national platform, which has to do with the government itself, the policy makers, the supervisory authorities, and also those managing any other institution that has to do with football or has to do with sports generally. So Gusau came into office about 4 years ago.
Yeah, 2022, September.
Yes. So when he came into office, I can tell you there are hangover, if you like this word, hangover of many other things. As at the time he came, we have our national teams participating in various competitions to qualify, either regional or global. We have other national teams that have already qualified. Then we have those who, as at the time he came in, had already lost the qualification games to go to the tournament.
Yes.
So,
Alhaji, sorry to cut you.
Yes.
Sincerely sorry to cut you. I would like you to pinpoint, if you want to tell us exactly what he has done, or you think he has not really done well. I need you to pinpoint it because of time. You gave me a time frame.
Yes. I am not Gusau's spokesperson.
Of course.
I am somebody who, to the best of my knowledge and due sense of humility, understands Nigerian football and Nigerian sports.
Exactly.
Politically and its architecture and its history. Why I started with this background, because I know I'm talking to Nigerians too, is for people to understand at the end of it, when I give my verdict based on your question, understand where I am coming from. As far as I'm concerned, it is not enough to measure his failures and his performance in office in 4 years, because he has carried more or less other, not only liabilities, if you like I said earlier, hangover of his fast. So he has to discharge that before he now comes to start his own. On the basis of what he made on the ground, he has not done well. But on the basis of what he has done after assuming office, he has done well. And that is why I'm saying that if World Cup, because 70% of those calling for a change, regime change,
yes,
they are putting it to the World Cup because that's why they feel if you don't go to World Cup, it's Nigeria is not playing football. Which there are so many other things that that really encompass that, accompany that. So we have another 4 years. You don't go to World Cup prepare to go to World Cup in 1 year. You don't prepare to go to World Cup in 2 years, sometimes even in 3 years.
Yes.
So from this point is when we are going to start, to me, to judge Gusau, not from the first 3 years.
All right. Thank you very much. You seem to, understand the, the terrain very well. And, without doubt, you were driving at a point. But Nigerians are holding out for one thing. I mean, if you go back to history, since we started qualifying for the World Cup in 1994, anyone who fails to qualify for the World Cup as president, leaves the office. You can go back to, Alhaji Ibrahim Galadima in 2006. You were part of the whole, process. A legitimate election. I'm using legitimate, man, because the man who conducted it said it was a legitimate election. Undukai Rabo, which brought Alhaji Galadima back, was cancelled, and all the likes of it. Eventually, we had Alhaji Sani Lulu. And then in 2022, also, Amaju Pinnick failed to qualify for the World Cup, and he sought for re-election. Eventually he was told to, step down, and not the likes of it. So he left office. And now we have Ibrahim Gusau, who has failed also to qualify Nigeria. I mean, the Super Eagles under him did not qualify for the World Cup. Don't you think it's a pointer for him to just say, no, I have failed, and just go back home and relax? I mean, if you can't qualify Nigeria, it's not like he's new to the board. He has been a part of the board, from even the Amaju Pinnick era. They failed. So it's back-to-back non-qualification for World Cup, whether you like it or not. Gusau part of those years. And now he can't, with him at the helms of affair, he can't seem to, get it done. How are we sure we can entrust him with the Nigeria Football Federation leadership in the next 4 years?
Okay. Let me start by asking, he has been part of the team.
Board, yes.
Part of the board. So also, Amaju Pinnick has been part of the one before him.
Exactly.
So it's a transition that always been. But if you look at the way Amaju Pinnick ran Nigerian football, you can't even bring Gusau anywhere there, because Amaju is a clear dictator. He's a clear dictator. Imagine him even telling Nigerians that he has an allocation of players to bring to the national team. He is still talking till today that he's a live president of Nigerian football. So such a person, do you know his first 6-7 months, he did not even get into Nigeria Football Federation's headquarters. He was running the federation from Transcorp. So he's a pure dictator. So not only Gusau, any board member you see in Amaju Pinnick's board is just a follower. He never allow them, the committees, or whoever has a function to has a responsibility to function very well. A pure dictator. So I disagree to say because he's part of the board of Amaju Pinnick, so he is
an extension.
An extension of that. No, I disagree.
Okay.
Let us because now, take the presidency for instance. Buhari came and spent 8 years, and nobody wants to agree now that President Tinubu is an extension of Buhari's government, because Tinubu came with his own policies. You understand, that are different from Buhari. So it's based for Nigerians to judge. So what I'm trying to say, Amaju is a dictator. You cannot say because Gusau has been part of that regime, so whatever the failures of that, he has to take responsibility. That is number one. Number two, how many coaches executed our qualifications? Who appointed those coaches? And how many matches did we play in the qualifiers before Gusau came in? So all this, you have to put it together. And you can imagine the likes of Amaju saying that he still talk to the players. And we have been saying sometimes when you see players' attitude, either reporting to camp or when they get to camp, the way they protest about allowances and rest, I have been saying it that there is either saboteurs from within or outside.
Okay.
And from the comments he made, it's very clear that really that my assertion is credible because some people maybe or are still talking to the players so that what did not happen during my time, it shouldn't happen now when I am not in charge.
All right. Alhaji, one of the things you talked about is transparency. I mean, what a leader should be judged, on. How transparent would you say the Alhaji Gusau board has been? For example, in the appointment of coaches and, appointment of coaches administratively, there were things that happened. I'm trying to use the senior national team to judge because that is the biggest brand of the federation. I mean, we knew the World Cup qualification series was on. A lot of the other teams were going to play their home games, in South Africa. And the Nigeria Football Federation did nothing about that until it became, glaring that it was going to be a problem. For me, administratively, that does not show that the board, really know what or knew what they were doing. And then in terms of appointments, has there been transparency enough in terms of, the committees of, of the Nigeria Football Federation? There's a particular committee that persons have complained about. That's the technical committee, which is headed by Alhaji Alan, the Kano State FA chairman. People believe is not competent enough, to handle such committee. They feel such committees should be handed over to, technocrats. He's not a technocrat in that particular, manner. But Gusau doesn't seem to believe that. Is that transparency? Does he listen? Is he a president that has listened? Let's do that in a minute before we take a short break.
Okay. Let me tell you, there are so many things. Let me tell you, there are so many things going on in Nigerian football.
Okay.
People don't know internally.
All right, Alhaji, just hold it on. Just hold it. We come back to that comment. You give Nigeria your thought on that. By the way, Abuja, you can join us on YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja, on Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja, on Instagram we are at Nigeria Info Abuja, on Twitter at Nigeria Info ABJ. You can drop your questions for Alhaji via the WhatsApp 080-999-30137. Yes, drop a voice note. You can also drop just a short note and I will read them. The phone lines 080-9597-4869. It's your Let's Talk station 95.1 Nigeria Info FM right here in the nation's capital.
More talk.
All right, still your Let's Talk station, 95.1 Nigeria Info FM, right here in the nation's capital. Anywhere you are listening, it is 95.1. And the voice of the sports prime minister and my guest, Alhaji Shuaib Gara Gombe. Well, Alhaji, once again, thank you for staying in the studio with us. And before we went for that break, I just wanted to know if the Alhaji Ibrahim Gusau's administration, if you think in his dispensation there's been transparency.
Yes. Transparency is a relative term. It's a relative term. In which area? Is it in management of the finances? Is it in management of resources? Staff? Is it the management of players, or the management of relationship with institutional supervisory institutions and policy monitoring institutions, or what? But it's so ramified. But let's come back to the question that you asked earlier. You use what you have. I have never seen, since after the Bitrus Bewarang, I think, who headed the technical department. Ladam Boso did. Ivavon now.
Yes.
Headed and let Shuaib Amadu and rest of it. But for the board, the chairing of the board, committees of technical, yes, I have never seen a technocrat or even someone who played the ball in the board that chaired that committee. If you look at Green, Anyasi, and the Ahlan we are talking about, and all of them. So the question is, if Anyasi can, why not Ahlan? If Green can, why not Ahlan? If these people can, why not Ahlan? And don't be surprised tomorrow. And tomorrow, if you have another board, and you have another person who maybe is a medical doctor and is on the board, he can be chairman of the technical committee.
Is this the best decision? Are these best practices? When you have a doctor chairing maybe the sports commission or something, like we've always asked the government not to do.
We have doctors, we have engineers that can do very well. But the question is that, do these qualified people emerge into the board? You cannot give what you don't have. These people pass through the elections and win. And they are leading the board. There's nothing you can do. You have to make use of what you have. And every federation president always wants to put somebody who he trusts so much to chair the technical committee. It has been a trend. So we cannot come and put that on Gusau alone because he brought Alan. It has been like that. It's a system. If we cannot really change it, we cannot really change it. The argument I had always been saying, whatever we are noticing before that are the faults, the problems of Nigerian football that kept on recurring every year in, year out, you understand, those people who kept quiet, who kept mute, why are they so vociferous now? Because it's Gusau. That is the question I've been asking. Every problem you raise in Nigerian football, I can tell you when it happens, as at the time it happens, at every point in the management administration of Nigerian football in the last 30, 35 years. But we have not found a solution. The problem kept on coming. And that is why I said this time around, look, I criticize Gusau, I criticize Alhaji, I criticize all of them. People were even surprised when I started saying that Gusau should continue.
Yeah.
Because changing the leadership, regime change cannot change Nigerian football. We have to go and search ourselves. We just talked about the technical aspect of the invitation to national teams. Do you know there is, at a point in time, some of the board members tried from, in fact, I don't even need to be specific. The president of the federation then, he said he has an allocation on who to bring to the national teams. And you have coaches coming in and out. You prosecute a qualifier with about 75 to 80 players. What is all this? Is interest. So if in as much as we are not ready to face reality and do the right thing, we'll continue coming back to where we are. So, and again, in terms of transparency, I know that I read somewhere and I've seen the Nigerian Football Federation under the same Gusau had a partnership and set up a partnership desk for anti-corruption with ICPC. They launched it and it's there. Whether it's working is another thing. Then there is an integrity unit.
Yes.
Also, that is there.
I mean,
so,
Alhaji, not to cut you,
so
we've had all these for a very long time, and we all know what it is.
It's systemic. It's
Yes.
systemic.
Yes,
it's systemic. If you look at it, whatever is happening in Nigerian football is a fraction of the whole. It's just like a mini Nigeria. After the office of the president and the chairman of the ruling party in Nigeria, the next most difficult office to manage is the president of Nigerian football.
Okay, Alhaji, now, for want of time, let me quickly break it down. Let's look at the national teams. Abuja, by the way, we focus on the incumbent because as at now, he's the only man that had fully come out to say he wants to, contest the position of the Nigeria Football Federation president. And as the incumbent, we know the history over the years, like I've said before. I mean, when we fail to qualify for the World Cup, the presidents are not allowed to come back. But could there be a difference with Ibrahim Musa Gusau? Now, let's come to the national team. One particular national team.
Before you go to the next part, did Amaju not get...
Yes, he got his second time.
Second time after failure to qualify.
He qualified for the World Cup at that point.
Okay, point.
Yes, when he failed to qualify, he was not re-elected.
Yes, because there are other factors associated to him.
Now, excuse me, I don't want us to go...
And we rewarded him. So we rewarded him with even CAF and FIFA seat.
Now, I don't want to go to Amaju. I don't want him to take the shine.
He qualified one, he failed to qualify.
And when he failed to qualify, he left the office.
He left the office because of many other things. And if as at that time, honestly speaking, if as at that time of Amaju's failures, the people talking now were talking, I could have joined them now to talk. But when Amaju was failing, I was talking. I was called names. In this studio, I came here, people challenged me. People called and challenged me against Amaju that he was doing well. So now I am saying, that time, now you are mute, you went mute into mute mode. Now you have recovered your voices because it's Gusau. That is why I said why. No. So we have to, and we also, like I said, it was a carryover or hangover of all the remnants of the liabilities Amaju left that Gusau took to now clean up in this first time.
No problem. Now, let's look at the national teams.
Yes.
It's not just under Gusau. But if you are a president that should be different from others, there should be, a difference in handling the preparation of the national teams. Under Amaju Pinnick, the national teams don't get to prepare very well for regional games, especially the WAFU games, the AFCONs, and all the likes of it. You'd see teams get to camp barely a month before competitions. And it continued under Alhaji Ibrahim Gusau. In fact, some coaches were appointed barely a month to their competition. The last Africa WAFU B under 17 championship, Manu Garba and his crew got appointed barely a month. And that's why we failed to qualify for the Africa, Cup of Nations. Now, the Super Falcons are currently campaigning in Morocco. And some few weeks ago or months ago, the captain, Rashida Ajibade, had come out to complain that they needed friendly games in those free windows, and they never got one. With the national teams, has Amaju done well? Has Gusau done well to really say he should seek for re-election?
Is
coupled with the fact that the Super Eagles failed to qualify for the major one, the World Cup.
Like I said, these issues you are raising are all systemic. In fact, during Gusau, during Megari, during Alhaji Pinning, during Megari, during Lulu, even during Galadima. All these problems are still there. Let me tell you, I went to the committee, the master plan committee, and I did a presentation. All these preparations for the national teams have been discussed. It is a systemic problem which is associated to funding.
So,
it is
associated to
funding. Yes,
okay.
Associated to funding.
Okay.
Because I know, we have now about 13 national teams. 13 or 14 national teams, if I'm correct.
Okay.
And every month you have one team participating in one competition or another.
Yes, almost.
Look at it now. Hadibina, we went to the World Cup. Maybe from the World Cup, as soon as we come back, we are going to Morocco. Then from Morocco now, by next week now, we are in Wafu B.
There is also a Wafu B currently going on, and the
final is on the 8th.
Yes.
And maybe immediately before that Wafu B, I think there is one qualifier. Is it for?
Yeah, in September, just before.
Before. So if you look at these programs, the kind of resources and the funding that is needed for this management of preparations and build up to qualifiers and to major tournaments in Nigeria is non-existent. And that is why I am saying it is systemic. Systemic in the sense that we don't have to put it at the doorstep of the Nigerian Football Federation alone. We have to start somewhere from the presidency. The presidency and the National Assembly especially. Let me tell you.
Okay.
If you look at Bayana of South Africa, a company called Sasol, I think, they had been their sponsors, as far as I know, since 2009, before the World Cup in South Africa, till today. Now, what stops us from listing these national teams? We are the number one economy in Africa, and pick major companies. Dangote is giving waiver to pay taxes, but you go and build roads. Can't we get some of these companies to get waiver and tell them to sponsor?
So who we get the Alhaji?
Yes.
Who we get the companies is the duty of the Nigeria Football Federation, the duty of Alhaji Gusau.
Wait, there is trust deficit.
Okay.
There's trust deficit in the Nigerian sporting system.
So
anything you mention sports in Nigeria, not even about football, the first thing that comes to people's mind is corruption.
But not to cut you again, yes. Alhaji, during Alhaji Pinning, he claimed he got about 60%, autonomy in terms of, sponsorship, brought in a lot of sponsors. I don't want to mention names. And, he said we are on our way to autonomy. So how come we don't have sponsors? Sponsors are not interested.
He lied. He didn't bring anything. The same Zenith Bank, sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Zenith Bank offered to pay for our national team coach if we have one. They said salary, they will pay him directly. Go and get the best coach. Zenith Bank offered that. The same Zenith Bank offered to fund our youth development program. Mm-hmm. The chairman of that youth committee was Sheyi Akiwumi, who is a second vice president of the federation.
Then
this is collapsed due to corruption. And because of this corruption, it was the same collapse. They collapsed the same under the same Alhaji that we are talking about. Why did they collapse? If Zenith Bank can come up, and they were ready, they even took the money and put it in a dedicated account. Go and get the best. The same people came, and when they brought Olise, when Alhaji brought Olise, he took him to stock exchange with Chewu Diko, who is the chairman of National Sports Commission. And Olise, Alhaji, they all went to stock exchange. They rang the ceremonial bell, say we are not. That's the time he was making all this noise. And he likes to brag that that they are now autonomous. You can't go and claim autonomy when you don't have the government endorsement to that autonomy. It's not going to work. Remember, like I said, we what we need is a transition. The only sport in Nigeria that is governed by law is football. The NFF Act is there. And for the fact that the NFF Act still is subsisting, government owns it. So we have to take government out, abrogate that act, and allow the private sector to come in. If President call now Dangote, call Bua, call Otedola, call Ovia, call Lumelu, and Rabiu, and say, please, I want to have a meeting with you. And they come, and the president said, okay, we will look at your taxes and see how we are going to give you some reliefs. Take Super Eagles, take Under 23, take Falcons, take Under 17.
Why has that not been done?
Yes, because maybe somebody has to go and tell to the president. Somebody has to market that to the president.
Why can't Gusau and his board get this done?
See, when Buhari came, we thought we are going to clean up and send to jail all those who have embezzled money in Nigerian football and Nigerian sports. It did not happen. Now, President Tinubu came, and no president in Nigeria, to the best of my knowledge, has funded sports like Tinubu did.
Yeah.
But what is the check and balances? What is the monitoring? What is the accountability and transparency system in place to see that the investments of President Tinubu in Nigerian sports and Nigerian football has given us the desired results?
Are you saying those investments have not really yielded?
I have not seen it yet, because we are just changing shadows. What we are supposed to do, we are going back to square one. Very soon, people will start calling for the return of Ministry of Sports.
Okay. Alhaji, we've just talked about the Nigeria Football Federation under Ibrahim Gusau not attracting, private sector as much as we would have wanted. Now, one major thing that drives football in every country is their league. I mean, the strength of their league is what is used to measure their football. You look at Egypt, you look at Morocco, you talk about South Africa, even Spain that just won the World Cup. But Nigerians keep complaining about the NPFL. Under Gusau, there's not been much, difference, in terms of what has been happening in the past. Officiating problems. In fact, there was I think 2 games to the end of the season in the NPFL, there was a blatant error, by the referee in a Rangers game against Insurance. The referee had to be, sanctioned almost immediately. I mean, the league is not on TV. Nigerians love football, but the Premier League is what they see to watch. Our game is not on TV. We want to follow, but we don't know where to go. Why has Gusau in the last 4 years been unable to act on this?
Good. You see, I don't like to be... Anyway, it's just... That's why I say systemic. It's just the Nigerian situation. A woman may get miscarriage in Gombe. She will blame Tinubu. So it's the same thing now. The league, for goodness sake, has its own board. It has its own chairman. Nobody is talking... Nobody is talking about Elegbele. You are calling Gusau's names. Gusau is the president, yes. It's just like what Mr. President Tinubu was saying just yesterday to the bishops that visited him. You have governors, and the governors are not doing anything. Then you are always looking at the center to blame the presidency, which is not the right thing to do. Everybody, there is division of labor. So, coming back to the league in Nigeria will continue to be backward in as much as certain things are not put in place and are not done. Number one, the officiating. We failed to professionalize officiating. When Remo Stars got relegated, or rather, I saw them at the bottom of the table. I called the chairman of Remo Stars, Chief Kule Sonami. I said, Chairman, what is happening? I'm seeing this, your team, and that. I don't want to say what he told me.
Please say it.
No. I don't want to say it, but generally, if somebody is probably, as at today, the number one single private sector investor in Nigerian football and in the league, and you see him refuse to fund the team, allow the team to go the way it is due to frustration. Officiating has been number one problem. Number two, poor infrastructure.
But these are under Gusau.
Number three, no, you cannot. Look, let me tell you, don't put all the blame on Gusau. Bumi, let us be fair to him. Let us not put all the blame on Gusau. It's just like when you appoint a coach and you ask him to go and coach a team. What you need we are giving to you. You go and fail. Then you come back. Of course, you say the box stops on his table. But in this case of league, It has its own board. It has its own sponsors. They have a consultant, the GTI, who claim that we are going to find funding. They enter through the back door, saying that they are going to bring sponsors. Later, they came with Start Times and said that Start Times are going to invest in the league. Exactly. We are going to be watching the matches on Android. On Android. You are going to be watching it on YouTube. On what's the name of this other one? Go TV. You watch all these lies, and we were still in Baba's seat, motion without movement, just like this chair. That
and even for a long time, those who won the Federations Cup didn't get their money, their prize money.
They had not been getting the same GTI came and took the Federation Cup. They were giving the Federation Cup to manage and to find sponsors, and they have not. And all their life, they are in capital market. They have nothing to do with Nigerian sport, Nigerian football. When we brought sponsors, I brought sponsor who wants to invest in Nigerian football and also to generate. You know the story. I think we discussed it in this very this station. The day we gave them the concept note, 6 days after, they rushed to Abuja to sign the contract with those Chinese people. And where is the money? Nothing. They valued the league for sponsorship for 800,000, which is an insult. Yeah, Ghana here is almost $4 million for the same this thing. Morocco is 7. South Africa is 11. Egypt is $12 million. That is the value of their league. What is the commercial value of our league? Up to now, nobody has given. And now, when the NSC came up and said the prize money is $2 billion for the winners, 1.5 billion for runners-up and rest of it. Let me tell you, put all the money you have, cannot change Nigerian league if the right thing has not been done. How many of the teams have their own stadium, apart from Remo? And as today, if even they qualify for the Continental Championship, only Uyo is valid.
Uyo and Remo Stars?
Remo Stars, the conditional approval given by CAF, after they downgraded the Abuja Stadium, they said after the preliminary rounds, once you go to the knockout stage, you can't play in Remo. And even that one, it was the influence of Chisoname that begged him and used his network to beg them to come and inspect. In fact, he provided a private jet to the inspectors of CAF to go to Ekene to go and check that place. So they now said, okay, we will allow you to play your preliminaries here. When you qualify, you cannot play here. You have to go to Uyo. So is this a country, or is it a place where you say you want to give 2 billion for winners of the league? Why don't you use that 2 billion to invest in infrastructure, players' welfare, teams management? And most of the things, in fact, there is no proper governance structure. Because that's number one. When you don't have a proper governance structure, the league under Shehu Diko approved a governance structure in Uyo. Since they came back to Abuja, they abandoned it. And now, since 2015, 2016, they abandoned it. That was when Induka Irabo was chairman. And when I was in Kano, I was advisor to the governor on sports. Kano Pillars was under me. We are the only club in Nigeria. The only club in Nigeria that meets the licensing requirement which the Induka Irabo had held a press conference and praised Kano Pillars, and I did it. Do you know when we did that compliance framework that was sent to all the 20 teams, Nembe from Bayelsa and Giwa from Jos went to court to stop the NPFL from implementing that structure. That is the missing point. If we had implemented that governance structure, we could have been somewhere. Now, when they got the injunction from court, a restraining order from the NPFL from implementing that, do you know the 18 teams belonging to government, or rather 17 teams belonging to government, including the Almighty Eimba, supported the court injunction that Giwa and Nembe owned. And Giwa and Nembe are the only private-owned clubs. They say they are private people, they cannot afford it. How can a club that is spending about 600 million a year will say he cannot afford 100 million naira bond? as part of the requirement, because the bond is to keep it. If you don't pay players, we take it from there. If you don't pay your coaches, we take it there. They abolished sign-on fees to collapse it, to collapse it.
Alhaji, which is almost like the same thing they want to do now.
They want to do now, but that's what I'm saying. That 2 billion they want to give, or 2 billion plus they wanted to spend as prize money. I mean, the prize money, you have to get a winner before you give him that money. So before the winner reach, you can imagine our players are still traveling from Maiduguri to Port Harcourt to play football by road.
All these under the NFF president, Alhaji Ibrahim Gusau. But
do you know his limitations?
Okay.
There are certain things you cannot do. You cannot even try it if the government is not ready to help you. Let me tell you, there's a time I wanted to, there's a question you asked at the beginning of this program. I did not answer you, but let me answer you now.
Okay.
That was when you said only Gusau is contesting. Who else you want him to come and contest with him?
We've not seen.
Yes, you could not see. You will never see because you cannot win. And I wanted to contest the last time when he contested.
He contested and won 2022.
I even started campaign. When the guidelines are out, I have to drop out. I say I cannot.
Because the guidelines does not permit other, persons like yourself.
No. It permits.
Okay.
There is somewhere you have to sign one declaration.
Okay.
Form you have to sign that you are completely giving out, surrendering your right irrevocably to contest the outcome of the elections in
a law court.
The election did not take place. You're asking me now to say I'm not. So that means from the beginning, you are not going to be to do the right thing. And it is not Gusau's own. It has been like that.
All right. Now we've talked a lot about what Gusau should have done, what he has not been able to do. But let's talk about some of the things he has done that has done very well. For example, during his tenure, the Super Eagles of Nigeria got to the final of the Africa Cup of Nations and also won a bronze medal the last time out. I mean, these are not easy feats. I know for Nigerians, is either the trophy or nothing.
And the WAFCON too.
And also WAFCON trophy with the ladies. And not forgetting also, right now, if you go to the Secretariat of the Nigeria Football Federation, you just look beside it, there is a new artificial pitch which has just been built. And I understand just directly adjacent to that is a grass pitch that is being prepared and is being, built. Just by the side of the grass pitch, there is an athlete or players, an official hostel that is, being constructed. These are milestones that have not been achieved in the last 10, 15 years by anybody.
More than that. And let me tell you about funding into the Nigerian football. Almost all his predecessors have been getting money to do the same thing, similar thing, even if not at this scale, large scale that he's doing it. They have been getting money for whatever. This one that you saw, the FIFA, they call it the FIFA Goal Project that was constructed. The same kind of money that was given. Somebody came and built this kindergarten goal project for us during his time. But I can tell you, if you go to other countries, Senegal here and Egypt and see what they have built. Morocco with that small money that they have given. So honestly speaking, kudos to him. And this, whether anybody likes it or not, is Gusau's legacy. And there are so many other internal checks I understand that he was doing. And in terms of preparation, if funds are available, I can tell you this guy will do more.
All right.
He can do more. And let me tell you, for the first time, we are setting up a committee for WAFCON. And because, Gusau is a peacemaker. If it is other presidents before him, it's trouble. They set up a committee of WAFCON. We say, okay, fine. If the committee can give us results, let's do it.
You mean the National Sports Commission?
So many things the National Sports Commission are doing that are responsibilities of Gusau, but because he wants peace, all he's after, let's have results. He allows them to go. I have seen where the certificate of occupancy or allocation of is it houses or land for the Super Eagles, It's not the business of National Sports Commission. I saw when Diko, when he was sharing it to the place in Morocco, when they are about to come and start a tournament. Another president will not even allow
that to happen.
You not allow that because it's his own interference. But he allows, let it go. Look at this one. Look at the league announcement of the money, prize money for the league.
It was done by the
NSC. By the NSC. He was not consulted. The league chairman, Elegbele, also was not aware. They just announced it. So you have to give it to him.
Don't you think that shows that he doesn't have the capacity to really...
No, it's not about capacity. In terms of industrial harmony, Gusau has shown a lot of restraint. And you know in Nigeria, maybe it's a trap. The moment you do this, they now, you also fight them, they now set a trap for him, and he fell. Like I said, do you know there was a time, you talk about elections here.
Yes.
There was a time somebody wanted to contest election. He did it in Asaba or in Wari. He was arrested and kidnapped.
Yes.
It happened.
It's not somebody we know.
We know. He was kidnapped because he's a contestant.
Yes.
But Gusau did not say, don't go and buy form. Go and buy your form.
Okay. Now, there's a question right here that, and I know you would like to answer it, is from my friend Chinedu, and he says, ask Gara Gombe his thoughts about the 2010 NFF status produced by Alhaji Sani Lulu Abdullahi. As a former state airfare chairman of Gombe State, does he believe the exclusion of players, coaches, referees, former players, and the leagues, and even sponsors is right? Can our football make progress with this status that excludes a lot of technocrats from the game?
We about to send this question. God bless him. I have been fighting about this. Sani Lulu created the problem that is facing Nigerian football till today. Sani Lulu created for his own selfishness. What they did was they tried to reduce the number of Congress, so that they can easily manipulate them. It was not like that before. When I was chairman, anywhere I sit down, behind me is my secretary.
Okay.
And my secretary votes as a vote. I also have a vote.
Is it still the same?
No. Sani Lulu take all the secretaries off. The league's club, all the 20 of them, they have a vote. They are in the Congress. Sani Lulu took them off. So they reduced the number so that when they want to bribe people during elections, they can spend less money. No. It's happened, Bubi. We saw it in Chida when they were sharing $10,000.
But these are the machineries that Alhaji Gusau has, right for him to use.
Yes, because let me tell you, a leader should have instincts on survival. If Gusau, just like those before him, found out that the instinct of survival is to leave the Congress to a smaller number, that you can go all their rooms overnight and do what you want to do, is what will make him to survive. Then fine.
Now, Alhaji, let me ask you, because there are government officials who are listening currently and would like to know if there is need for interference or, I don't want to use interference now. That's what some persons will say. If there is need for them to, I'm looking for that word now, to come in, because that's what we've seen. Anytime the Super Eagles fail to qualify for the World Cup, the government sends in someone they put their machineries in place to ensure that the incumbent is not there, or those who have not done well leave office. Amaju Pini, the last time we saw how he was chased with EFCC and not the likes of it until he was told not to contest according to reports. And here, Gusau has been able to play down on the EFCC or wherever. Nobody is chasing him like, we used to see in the past. But do you think we are going in the right direction? Can we afford to let Gusau, take the helms of affair in the next 4 years and not regret it? Because not making another World Cup in 2030 is going to be
let me tell you, Gusau is lucky. He came at a time where even some of the evidence that had always been generated to arrest or to deal or to embarrass or to harass President of the Nigerian Federation has been taken care by certain financial policies of the federal government. You see these jeepneys
Okay.
There is a payment system that is called Jeepneys.
Okay.
And when I read somewhere where some people are shouting that Gusau paid money to private account, this, and that, I just laugh. Because I know that if you are not on Jeepneys, you cannot get paid. And in football, if there is a service provider to be paid and he's not on Jeepneys, definitely it has to be paid through a staff of the federation who is coming back to account for that that money. So all the evidence you can gather to go and arrest Gusau like old-fashioned. I had a plan somewhere that they said, oh, if Gusau did not refuse to leave, DSS will kidnap Sanusi, and the EFCC or ICPC will arrest Gusau. I told them that is old-fashioned. The government used it before. It worked. This time around, it's not going to be easy because even the Alhaji that they sent him away, the evidence against Alhaji were overwhelming. He can't answer those questions. He cannot answer them. So that is why it's easy for him to go. So to be fair to Gusau, if the government wants a regime change, it's not going to be easy. Every single tactics that they are going to use are old-fashioned. We have been hearing some of the tactics they want to use. They are old-fashioned. And he is also lucky. Let me tell you that the transition is within another transition of the federal government. If the governor of Zamfara today gets up and go to see Ashwaju and tell who decamped from PDP to APC and tell the president, this man is my state person. You understand? I decamped to PDP to support you. So leave him, make sure he gets protection. It's just a call to, what's his name, Bajabia Mila. It's done. So that's how politics is being played in Nigeria.
So invariably,
and let me tell you, if he's from Bauchi now, that the governor of Bauchi, for instance, is not part of the government at the center. He has not decamped and is from Bauchi and is this. Let me tell you, whatever the governments are sovereign, they want to do to take him out, they can do it easily and nothing will happen. So that is the problem with Nigeria. Our politics is so dirty that people use machinery of government to get what they want and to do what they want to do. Okay. So again, like I said to you, I want our listeners to know this. Nigerian football is the only football association or federation in Nigeria that is sports that is governed by law. It has an act of it, so it's owned by government. So the government can do anything it wants to do within it. But there are certain things, for the fact that we're accepted to be members of FIFA, there are certain things we cannot do. Like now, if you want to publish the accounts of NFF, you want to be transparent and you want to be... I heard somebody who was campaigning some time back and said he is going to be publishing
the
accounts of NFF quarterly, and you cannot do that. You cannot do that. Because if you do that, you cannot do that because it's like Nigerian Port Authority now publishing government account every 6 months. Yeah. Or Nigerian Communications Commission. It's not going to be. But if they are not guided by that act, they have an accountant general, they have an auditor general. These are the ones that are responsible for managing the financial system of all parastatals. So if they want to do that, FIFA, we are affiliates of FIFA. It has its own rules.
All right.
We have the act, so we are being governed by two. One is a law. Oh, they are all laws, two laws actually, but because they work hand in hand, one injures the other. So there are certain things you cannot try to do because it's going to be termed to be interference, and that's what FIFA would not like to hear. This election, FIFA and CAF have confirmed that they are coming for the elections in September.
Yes, September is here, and the elections we hold. Who and who we contest, we don't know yet. But what we know is this.
Anybody contesting, you are just going to waste your money. I'm just saying it.
All right. Well, if you understand from where Alhaji Gara is speaking, it looks like a perfected act that Ibrahim Musa Gusau will come back. Already there has been endorsement.
They have started endorsing him.
Exactly.
And these are the people who are going to vote.
Just like Infantino is being endorsed all around the world.
Gusau is all that happened in this World Cup. Infantino is coming back. So
it's like Gusau
It's not
is
only in
going
Nigeria, even in CAF it happens.
So that was why I said, can we discuss it?
And the other one that they're talking about, Sanusi, that he has to go. Why? This is somebody who has a contract. Apart from having a contract, it's only the federation that has the right to employ him. He's not a staff of the federal government. And you said he has to go because he has stayed too long. What is too long? How many years has late Patiko Kopomo stayed? How many years has Mustafa Fahmy stayed in CAF? How many years has Sepp Blatter stayed in FIFA as Secretary General? There is one federation, I think one of these Central African or whatever country is spending his 35 years.
Okay, we will get to that. There's been questions and loads of questions here.
I am seeing them.
Yes,
I saw one like Manchester United logo. I hope that one I will not answer.
Loads of questions, so we will get there. But for me, just to chip in also. If there's one thing that Ibrahim Musa Gusau has done is the fact that he has brought back the coaching, grading of coaches in Nigeria. For 6 or 7 years, there hadn't been grading. There were no certifications for coaches in Nigeria until the last 1 year or thereabout, inside the last 1 year, where Augustine Iguavon championed it through the Nigeria Football Federation. And
No. Not only Iguavon.
I'm not saying Iguavon. Of course, he's the head of the technical department,
but
he
let
must
me tell
get
you
the
the
credit.
person who helped us.
Okay.
His name is Dr. Terry
Ogwaje,
who is a Nigerian president of AFCAN. He's based in the U.S. They value him. He's all over America. He's FIFA certified. He's CAF certified. He came here during when this man was minister. They messed him up. He left.
But he was appointed by Amaju. The Amaju you really don't love.
He was appointed by Amaju. But did Amaju pay him? Amaju did not do anything. Amaju brought him to brag, to show that he has done something. But he did not achieve anything under Amaju. It was after that when they attached him to the national team as a technical official, match reader or whatever, and he was doing very well. But the major achievement, what Nigerians should be grateful to Dr. Terry and AFCAN, is his ability to put us back into the CAF licensing system. Yes. We were not there. Even now, do you know there was a time CAF said if you don't have CAF A, you cannot sit on the bench. The NFF has to start writing for waivers for some of the coaches.
They've written
and
for
even
waivers.
Now, there are some of them who they have to go and revalidate their licenses.
Yes, I did that too.
Yes,
I did that too.
Yes, exactly, to revalidate the licenses. So this is something good. But the problem is that why are they not publicizing
All right. Well, I had to mention it because it's something I know directly, so I had to mention that. So let's go to the calls. Let's start with this one. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good evening, good afternoon. We are almost there. Welcome. Your name?
My name is Steve. I'm calling from Newcastle.
All right, let's talk your question or contribution.
Most of the things Gara will be saying there, we disagree with him. Is it because the president NFF is his brother? That everything that Amadou Pinnick has done is wrong in his face. When Amadou Pinnick was there, what has he done? Even he said that he's talking to them, what has he done for NFF to make sure that we qualify for World Cup? His brother didn't qualify us for World Cup. Now he's defending him every angle. So we disagree with him. It should not be sentiment.
All right. Thank you very much. He has the right to his opinion. You have your own right to your opinion. Hello. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon to you. Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Jamilu Utaku.
All right. Jamilu.
I want to make this opportunity to welcome Alhaji Gara Gombe.
Thank you.
Yes, authority in sport, and we appreciate your coming. And one thing I understand from this, your comment is that in sport, you don't have to throw away the baby and the water. Sometimes lack of patience what leads us all what we are doing in sport. And even we exercise patience with some of our sport holders. We correct them where they do mistake, not criticizing them and condemning them and chasing them out of the system. We could have not been here. But each and every time we have three of our leaders that have any issue, we now forget everything and chase them away, we still go back to square one.
So you
I
are in
hope
support.
this will
You are in
be-
support that Gusau deserves another term.
Yes, we indicate where he got it wrong so that he will correct it.
All right, thank you very much. A message from Adebari Awodoye says, your guests run away from most of the questions. Gusau has failed woefully, period. We didn't qualify for the World Cup, and you're looking for another year. And just like Gara Gombe said, a lot of Nigerians judge, football basically based on World Cup qualification. And this one is from Baba Favor in Kabay. He says, Coach me, why this man tried to defend the current president? This is what taking Nigeria backwards. All right, thank you very much. And another one from Nyanya, Owi in Nyanya says, good afternoon, Coach me. Since Gusau came on board, our male teams have not qualified for any FIFA age grade tournament. We've no, that's not. I mean, they did the what's it called? The
Just go ahead.
Wafubi.
Let's go and get informed.
We had scandals on coaching or coach selection, poor implementation of FIFA projects, mismanagement of funds, and we are blaming it on people that are no longer there. Gara Gombe is defending his friends. Average Nigerian politician speaks from both sides of the mouth, so I am not surprised. Owi in Nyanya, thank you for your message, Owi. And another one comes in, and trying to find out exactly who this is. Ishioma Gwax, that's from Gwagwalada. I said, it seems Alhaji has personal grudges against Amaju Pinnick. I can't fathom why the current NFF president cannot save himself from the shadow of Amaju if what he said is the truth. The allegation is enough for the president to resign because he doesn't have the courage to lead the federation. NFF is a reflection of Nigerian society. When my tribe man is there, everything he does is right. Vice versa. Ishoma from Gwax. Let's take this call. Okay. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon to you, the Prime Minister of the whole worldwide.
Good afternoon and welcome. Your name and where you're calling from.
Alhaji, sir. Yeah, this is your name, Dr. Dile Dennis.
Let's talk, Dr. Dennis.
Yeah, my brother. You see this Nigeria where we live, this is my brother, this is my brother, and I did for this country. If somebody does something wrong, tell him in the president that you have done wrong, when I are able to fix it and make sure that you correct it. Are you hearing me? Because Gusau are famous for we to not qualify for World Cup. It's a taboo and something an abomination. After that, the whole country like Nigeria will not qualify. Okay, the other time when they will not qualify, other amount to finish. Are you hearing me? Okay, now after that, Gusau they enter, Nigeria going to qualify, and we play with no bullying. Come on. So for me, it don't deserve another chance. Let another person who is ready to move the former side, let's enter that place. Let's go there.
All right. Thank you very much. And let me read. This is from Harry Awurumibe in FCT Abuja. And he says, good afternoon, Sports Prime Minister. I greet Alhaji Gara Gombe, my fellow activist in the development, promotion and administration of sports and football in Nigeria. On NFF elective Congress, my take is for incumbent President Ibrahim Musa Gusau should be re-elected as NFF president to complete the 65-room NFF FIFA Players Hostel and 2 practice pitches at Package B, Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. If every president of NFF should build one project, Nigeria will be better for it. My fear is that if Gusau is not re-elected, those important projects will stop and Nigeria football will be the loser. Harry Awurumibe with that one. Alhaji, I'll also give you the chance to respond to some of the comments, but let's take some more of Alhaji, you can come closer. Hello. Oh. Well, good afternoon to you. Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Francis. I'm calling from Gusau too.
All right, Francis.
Sorry, yeah. Please, I want you to ask our guests there.
Yes.
What is that system that he's talking about? And that the system cannot be changed. That is because they mention system, and you know that system already. Why can't they change the system that is affecting the Nigerian football?
Okay, thank you very much. It says, why can't this system be changed? Let me take a few more reactions. This one says, Coach me, well done. Thanks for the guest you brought. Please, what is his name? Okay, that's Alhaji Tribe Gara Gombe. And he says, brilliant analysis. My question is, when will corruption leave NFF? 2, what happens to the funds allocated for the World Cup that Nigeria Super Eagles did not attend. These have been some of the questions. That was this budgeting for the Super Eagles World Cup, which was done in the 2026 budgeting system, not by the NFF, by the way, by the National Assembly and all the likes of it. And President Bola Tinubu's administration have been, questioned on that. How would you have a budget for the World Cup that Nigeria did not qualify for? Alhaji Gara Gombe is preparing, so let me take one or two more reactions. Hello.
Hi, Bumi. Good evening.
Good evening and welcome. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Dale, calling from Lube.
All right, Dale, let's talk.
It's a pity, honestly. I don't know if I should be laughing or I should be smiling or I should be crying. But then first off, we didn't qualify for World Cup, and there was a budget, allocated to the Super Eagles that didn't qualify for the World Cup. A right-thinking person, even if at all the budget was given, they should, probably divert it to the Super Falcons. Give them adequate preparations for the WAFCON. There was no adequate preparations for this WAFCON. The friendly we played before the WAFCON started was, I think Tanzania, if I'm right. Yes,
we played Tanzania in this last phase, but
yes.
Before then, we had played Cameroon, we had played Senegal, all in the build-up. Like two legs, yes.
Fine. So what happens to the likes of Morocco, South Africa? Why didn't we go for something more intense? Because I'm saying those guys are, the NFF, the guys in the NFF, they know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. And if you talk now, they will say FIFA is also doing the same thing. It's a shame. It's a shame. We need people to rescue our football. Thank you so much for me.
All right, thank you very much. We need people to rescue our football. You've had some questions, and for me, I want to ask another question, Alhaji, which I will want you to add to the many questions you have there already. We have about 5 minutes, and after then, we'll have another 5 minutes before you leave. You said you were leaving by 4:30. Now, another question I will ask is this. Now, like I said before, we've seen government interference, and you admitted yourself that, if government decides to interfere, there could be consequences, and then, everything could change in a matter of a twinkle of an eye. Now, the Super Falcons are in a delicate situation out there in Morocco. They lost their first game, and if they lose the second game, they will play today later by 9 p.m. Nigeria will not be going to another World Cup, and that means the male team, the female team will not be attending the World Cup. What do you think? If the Super Falcons fail to win today, this could mean war. This could mean there could be trouble in paradise.
Well, it's only, let me tell you, like I said, it is a pity that we always attach our performance to qualification to World Cups. There are so many other things that happen behind the scenes, which those who are managing our sports or our football are either afraid to say because the supervisory authorities, or they fail to do certain things. Let me tell you, in as much as that act remains in force, the NFF Act remains in force, government or football as a subsidiary or as a parastatal of government, these problems will keep on coming back, and there will be no solution until we die. If we turn football into the hands of the private sector, it's an investment. When football was formed in Kakawa Street in Lagos, the first meeting that was held in 1943 or 44, 1945 or 1943 in Kakawa Street in Lagos, it was supposed to be a private association.
A privately driven association.
Exactly. But now we came and made and turned it into a parastatal
why can't Gusau champion this?
It's beyond him. He is. Let me tell you. Is okay. Do you think the MD, I usually report at the MD of Nigerian Port Authority, will now go to the minister, in this case to Shehu Diko, the minister of blue economy, marine blue economy, and tell him, sir, please leave us alone. We want to be independent. We want to be private. Do Do you think before he leaves the minister's office, he will still remain another person who will not be appointed in acting
But there are
capacity?
various ways to do this.
There is no other way. To abrogate an act, you need to go to the parliament and abrogate it.
Yes.
And say, let me tell you, when Senator Oba was chairman of Senate Committee on Sports, they are trying to reform the act. They invited us. I was invited to go and make presentation.
I remember.
I made a presentation. I asked him a question. I said, distinguished senator, why do you people want to maintain football or manage it in Nigeria through an act of parliament? What happened to basketball? Can you do the same thing for basketball, to volleyball, table tennis, and rest? He said they are coming to that. This is his language, that they are coming to that. I know it's not going to be possible. Something is wrong somewhere. Either some people are benefiting from it. Okay, now, they talked about budget. Budget for 2026 World Cup. You think basketball don't have their own World Cup? Volleyball don't have their own World Cup? Or swimming doesn't have their own World Cup? Have you ever had anybody saying he's putting basketball budget in our Appropriation Act? No. But football has, because it's an act that established it. So they have a subhead, budgetary subhead. And since we are talking about this, let me answer directly the question people said that budget was made for 2026 World Cup and we did not qualify. What happened to that money? People should understand, budget is a document of intent. It's not reality. It has to be cash-backed. So since we do not qualify, that one is off. But if somebody takes the money...
they are not going to get the money.
They won't get that money. That's why when I had people shouting, including this former minister Dalong, he was making noise all over the place, and the government allowed him to be making noise. Somebody who is supposed to be even in jail, is making noise saying that so and so amount was inserted into the budget. It is it's an intention. When the time comes, what is the budget performance of even other sectors since 2024?
Alhaji, you need to hold it there. We need some 2 minutes to go pay some bills, and when we get back, I will take more reactions from the WhatsApp. If there's one man that will answer all your questions, it has to be Alhaji. But he has just barely 2-3 minutes to leave the studio. So we will be back, and for some other questions, I will see how we can get Alhaji back to speak with us. Don't go anywhere. It's Football Frenzy.